Good evening, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are kind of a bit of a pre-show because Stuart is not here yet. He is off doing something else, and I wanted to make sure that I was chatting to you guys first to get you guys turning up and say hi. So hi everyone. And the wonderful Judge 1981 pre-chat super chatted, which is absolutely incredible. $10, which is an amazing amount. Can't make it today, but thinking of you. Well, thank you, Judge, and we hope that you enjoy it in the after time of watching it after the fact. It's funny, this episode, me and Stuart were apprehensive going into. Certainly remembering a real lack of something with it. And so it's certainly interesting to watch that after the fact. Hello, Raj. Hi, Dan. Hello, Sinbun. Hello, DGR Blue. Devereaux. Everyone says hi. And Ryan Case says that he's for the law against genetic engineering. Yeah, Christopher Rollins points out this is very similar to The Deadly Years. Yes, I felt that parallel strongly in this one. It's interesting, it didn't take that many times to get to a weird... Okay, so it'll be 10 minutes. I'm going to entertain you all for 10 minutes. But yeah, certainly more paralleled than I thought. Jill47 says, I love Pulaski. Sue me. Jill, let's have a conversation. This is the first real Pulaski episode of this season, which is the first full Pulaski episode of her run. She gets like half the screen time. Why, Jill, do you love Pulaski? Because she didn't come back in season 2, was never shown again. But do let me know. Give me a decent sized response. I'd love to have a little debate with everyone because, you know, like I said, it's the first Pulaski episode. Let's have a Pulaski discussion. We get a picture of Pulaski. And she certainly finally gets time this episode. You know, it's all depend on the script and how we use it and such. But she certainly took the content and used it. There she is. There's Pulaski. So what do we all think of Pulaski? I think she's a perfect bone, says Jeff Jacobs. Christopher Rollins. Was the editor of TNG supposed everyone on the ship is old except Wesley? Christopher Rollins. No, what are you on about? We know they have children. We know they have many young officers throughout. Wesley's just the in-between officer of old enough to be an officer, young enough to look like a kid. No, lots of young people, and obviously lots of kids. Still ill, guys, still ills. Robert Hayes, I have no strong feelings one way or another. But Jill. AC Costello, no. The captain's about 10 minutes away. Is this the one she gets old? Yes, Robert Hayes. Yes, it is. Very much is just another of those TOS almost ones. I found this episode, it's very much a simple concept that I think is a little bit dragged out. It could have gone one step further. It's one of those things where the Orville, Seth MacFarlane show, can really benefit because he can take the stories to an extra level of, wait, what? And this almost needed that. Felt not vanilla per se, but whatever. I'm still waiting on you, Jill. Why do you love Pulaski? Because we're not going to sue you. Jarzia, $2 Canadian. I bet Foley will legit like her by second season's end. Will legit like her by season's end. Well, hey, let's find out. Yes, Dan. Dr. Pulaski is credited at the beginning of the episode as a guest star. She has been up to this point, I'm sure, even more. And Devereaux, yes. Lantree, obviously. They just cast a new character, Philville. I mean, it sounded like he was coming around yesterday. We've still got two. Oh yeah, Pulaski, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, we can only review them on what we're given. And, is my video frozen? seem fine here, but am I... Okay, there we go. She's a great doctor. She saved Picard's life. She gets my vote. I think that the conception about Pulaski is that A, she's a terrible bedside manner, but then so does the Doctor from Voyager, so can't hold it against people. She's clinical. She's uncaring in a clinical way. She cares from a... Well, that's weird to say, because she says Picard doesn't care about the human element, and yet she just can't necessarily relate to people on a human level throughout the show. Even though she sort of can. I don't know, she's an odd one. And obviously, it's just her meanness against Data is unwarranted and tiresome very quickly. Maybe that's the thing that stands out most about negativity, that she's just actively mean, just for the sake of it. If there's a reason, there's a reason. She hasn't really done much else in this season to have a sense of her yet. I mean, I wonder what she's going to say in Best of Both Worlds. The robot one, the Measure of Man, there you go. Like, I'm sure she'll come in as a start witness and just complain. Jeff Jacobs, she's a more believable doctor than Crusher for sure. Jeff! What? Jeff? Why'd you say that? I certainly wouldn't say that. I mean, Crusher is more the down to earth doctor that you want to have as your general practitioner. Whereas Pulaski is the yeah, you gotta come in, yeah, I'll kill you, right, yeah, leave, thanks. Whereas Crusher has the bedside manner and the thinking outside the box vibe. That's weird. Better doctor than Pulaski. That's weird. Would Pulaski be a good captain of a medical ship? Yes, I would agree. Pulaski was in the original series in 2 episodes. No, she wasn't. The actress was. How can you work in Starfleet and be scared of transporters? Don't you have to not be for them to allow you to work? I mean, you can... I mean, most of your work is A to B location stuff, and a shuttle has its own merits. I mean, you can go from the planet surface to the planet, or ship to the planet in a couple of minutes, so it's not the hugest thing. The image became more comical than her. Well, certainly. He was taking a massive starring role, and a lot more breadth and width. But EMH versus Pulaski, I mean, certainly EMH would win in that medical off. There's actually a thing in this episode where they call out as being not possible, and yet the Doctor does it relatively easily. So I think, I mean, it's obviously several years in advance, but no, I think the Doctor benefits from a lot of things. I mean, I think Pulaski would have been worth seeing again after the fact in later seasons as a callback. But I don't know, I guess I decided not to. But Stuart will be joining us any sort of minute. Should not take long. And we can start the real review. But do you have any questions or comments for me? And obviously, guys, please do super chat. Very, very important to the channel. We 65-70% rely on super chats to literally support us every month. Without them, we have to use our savings to pay rent, and if we have to use savings to pay rent to do a web show for people, then it's not a viable web show. Often we barely hit the line of supporting ourselves. So at some point when you can't earn enough to pay rent, you gotta get other work. Other work means you can't do these lives like this. I mean, real life jobs come in. I know that if I had a real 9-to-5 job, I don't know if I could be, cogent enough to do this live at 10 to 12 and then try and go to sleep after having caffeine, try and stay awake. It wouldn't really work. So it's only because you guys support us can we keep doing the show, and so support is incredibly important. Yeah. Super important as a super chat. But I think Pulaski is relatively decent this episode. I mean, it's really her big breakout episode. It's interesting how they show her as a character via her flaws, because she gets sort of most things wrong in this episode. But it's... Oh, there we go. See you in a minute, guys. Now I can breathe. Say some soft shit because people are here. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
I think you meant to say stuff and things. That's always your thing.
Stuff and things.
Look, special guest star. Come on, guys.
How far into it are we?
Well, I just reviewed Pulaski for a bit because Jill. It's funny. Jill had a drive through radical thought. She just commented, "I like Pulaski Sumi." I said, "How?" Never responded again. So she drive through comment.
Nice.
But I just talked to them about Pulaski for a bit, and half the people said that Pulaski is a better Doctor than Crusher, obviously. And I'm like, okay, maybe not. I don't know. I disagreed.
She wasn't bad in this episode, honestly. So.
Right, I can now share. 57 people watching. You give your spiel. Back in a mo.
Hey guys, sorry I was late. Back now. Had to do a few things. Take care of the Camaro. Anyway, I am talking to you. That's what I'm doing. So super chats are great. I already got 2 of them. Judge 1981. I don't know if he's read them. And Jarzia. So thank you guys very much. And if you guys can, please do. Super chat, great way to enjoy, help us out. You know the routine, you know the spiel. Not going to get into it too much, but anyway, I apologize for being late, but had some things I had to take care of, so done now. And let's talk about this Unnatural Selection episode. Oy. Dr. Kate Pulaski. Another great way to help us, as Jeff just shared in the chat, is PayPal. All the information for that is down in the description below or in that right there. PayPal at trekyards@hotmail.com. Let us know you sent to PayPal and we will read it via the email and read your comment or question. So there you go. I think they should have kept Kate Pulaski as an assistant chief medical officer with Crusher doing more of the command stuff. Don't think that would have worked out so well, actually, but personally, I'd rather have Pulaski than Crusher working on me. Again, Pulaski's name was heard in Endgame on the intercom as Janeway is leaving Tuvok's room in the future. Oh, nice. So there you go. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. I don't know why this takes so long to share this. But, 65 people. Let's try to get 65 likes. Everybody hit like. Please. But yeah, I don't really feel like talking too much to myself today. So hopefully he'll be back in a minute. I don't know why it's taking so long. So if you have any questions or anything, put them in the chat. Let me see them. Let's petition Pulaski to appear in Picard. Well, should be pretty old by now. How many people have actually played 3D chess? I have. I have it upstairs. Me and my brother have played it a few times.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into it.
So yeah, your overall thoughts on this episode, Unnatural Selection, Season 2, Episode 07.
It's all right. Not as bad as I remembered it to be, but pretty good.
Yeah. Again, it helped with low expectations. I think that really helped this one. This one is boring. It's an uninspired story with a dull pace, with a very quick wrap up that kind of feels easy. And Pulaski's actually pretty good in it, but it's her first chance to be good. But the story itself is incredibly who cares, and it's like a low end TOS episode, which it literally was a good TOS episode that you recycled, but it's like a low end TOS episode with very little charm. and no real character moments except a couple little ones. Like it's not bad, but it's like dull and uninspired. I know,
Yeah, no, that sums it up pretty good. There are a few interesting things in it for sure, such as Starship Quarantine and what happens with that, and using the shuttle as a sterile environment, things like that is really great concepts that we get to see used. So
Yeah, I found that the actual story is boring, but I liked the okay, you know how sometimes in stories, and especially in Discovery, they say a thing, invent a thing, zoom, 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 we've sold it, right? In this, they actually say, right, we have to get on board this Lantree, whatever. So he goes into the ready room to get the command codes. They go to the bridge, they talk about the command codes. It feels very, very thought through, procedural, and it builds up tension and pace. I was like, great. So we saw a good sense of that.
yeah,
But it's just in service of quite a dull story that I think you could easily have improved. I said in my pre chat that I think this is one where they didn't go one step. They did not go that one step further. Whereas the Orville would take this concept and go that one step into being a really clever, fun story. This one just stayed like bottom of the barrel in terms of cleverness, like in the really cool way. Like whoever, Seth or Kelly, really aging, and then he would do some really radical things, and it would get really cool. This one just stays very simple.
Yeah. Have you read any of the super chats yet?
Yes, but I'm sure they'd love to hear you say them as well.
Judge 1981, $10 can't make it today, but thinking of you. Thanks. Aw, that's so sweet. And Jarzy puts in $2 Canadian. I bet Foley will legit like her by the end of this, by season's end. We'll see. So far, she's not as bad as I remember her.
All right. Let's begin.
So it starts off with Troy and Picard in the ready room. Well, it doesn't start off that way. She goes into the ready room, and he starts asking her about Pulaski. He's concerned about her. Troy, you might have spent more time with her. What do you think of her? And I think his preamble to this, the captain's log, was I wrote down to test our new chief medical officer. So that must have been a thing that he said. But it's unclear how long she's been with them, but it might not be that long because last episode we said maybe 8 weeks or something like that. But considering her records and stuff still haven't made it to the Enterprise, it's kind of odd. But anyway, I think this one might have been scheduled for earlier in the season because we kind of got to know Pulaski a little bit since then. So
I mean, we certainly like the idea of things taking a longer time to reach people in space, and she's the flagship's medical officer. You think there'd be some sort of priority, but also it's just basic medical stuff, and she can obviously she knows her own medical records, la la la. But yeah, I would assume 6 episodes is like 2 months.
Yeah,
and they've also been away from home. But I like this scene. It's fun to have him kind of be the audience perspective, saying, "So, what do we think of her? Is she a good replacement? Do we like the cast member?" It's quite meta almost, and it has a nice payoff as well later. But it's it shows the vibe we're getting as an audience. He's getting too, so I think it's quite a clever little scene.
Yeah. But anyway, then they get a faint distress call, which is the USS Lantree. I love the description.
To note, they are going to Space Star Station India, which is another red herring of we're going to a space station. Oh, never mind.
I thought I'd written that down, but it's not here.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Well, there you go. Let's see. So the Lantree is a Class 6 Federation supply ship, 26 officers and crew, and Class 3 defensive capabilities only. Which we see later, it's a Miranda class. It does not have the traditional roll bar and stuff, though. So, that's kind of cool. Get the class designation and stuff.
Does that mean that Well, no, it means nothing. They didn't know what they were going to use. They wrote it in. They whatever.
Yep.
I mean,
Exactly.
they should have just said Miranda. You know, re-get Will Wheaton to dub it 30 years later. Miranda class. Great, cool. Thanks, Will. I'm gonna put it in because it does feel kind of off. It's like it's not a class 6. It's a Miranda class or a sub variant. Whatever. Small thing, but yeah. Actually, would you?
Class 6 is just a designation. It's not.
I know, but I think they would have said it's a Miranda class rather than a class 6 transport vessel. It's a Miranda class type 6 transport vessel. Whatever. Like, would you rather they swapped it out with a different vessel in the rasters?
No.
Okay.
No. I like it.
But yes, they're going to go help, and it's urgent because the distress signal. They're saying they're dying.
They're
getting
dying.
old, and he says,
so of course,
warp 7.
Yeah.
Although, if you note, they have not moved from where they are physically. Where they cut. I mean, they just keep filming the scene, but they don't move at all. So I'm assuming they're like a minute or so away, or some shit. I mean, because it's the way it's cut. It's not like days away. Then you can kind of justify warp 7 because being there 1 minute 10 rather than 58 seconds makes no difference.
I didn't write down the distance. It was something micro parsecs.
Yeah, what was that about?
Later they say there's no ships within 2 full parsecs.
Milliparsecs.
Milliparsecs. There you go. So that we have to do some calculations and find out
Just
how long.
Stick with Kelicams, Jesus.
Well, Kelicam. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Anyway.
I just like Kelicam as a word.
So they get to the ship. There's no life signs, no ships within 2 parsecs, and no battle damage. And of course, the first thing Worf says is, "We have to board her, Captain." Yeah, it seems like a safe bet.
Well, you would think scan it first. I think they say no. Well, they do. They say no life signs, but everything's working fully.
Yes. So they decide to get control of her systems remotely and activate the view screen. That way we can look at her bridge.
Smart idea. It's a real smart idea.
Or, if it was in the JJ verse, they'd have much more of an advantage.
Yeah.
Well, in the JJ verse, they'd have a way better advantage. They just have to fly in front of it, run down to 10 forward, look out the window into the bridge window.
Well, I mean,
they'd be able to see everything that's going on because they got a window.
I mean, that or just move the ship down and then use your view screen to zoom into their window. But yeah, same thing. It's true.
Yes. But anyway, they do. Yeah, he gets the access codes, which is really neat, actually.
Because it's quite a big thing to ask. It's like, I want to have remote control access to a Federation starship. Cool, thanks. It's quite a legit thing to ask. And also, you missed Joseph Petrick's super chat.
Joseph Petrick puts in €2. You're my natural selection for tonight's Sharkyards.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
And one great comment, one silly comment. The great comment, Robert Hayes, parsec is about 3.2 light years. A milliparsec would be 0.0032 light years. So that is like a hop, skip, and a jump.
Especially at warp 7, that would be like literally like no time at all.
Although it's weird then that they didn't try and reach the Enterprise itself, because if all the ship systems are functioning, why didn't they just say, "Oh look, the Enterprise is less than 2 minutes away. Why don't we just say hi to them?" But whatever. And Dan23 says there are variations of the Miranda class. Yes, Dan, there are many.
We've done episodes on it.
Yep, and Eagle Moss. We know.
Tom Zeros 48 puts in $5
welcome.
Canadian. Hi, listening to you guys on the bus back from work. Your reviews always get me thinking of the mentality differences between the 80s and now. Fascinating.
Fascinating. Oh, I love it. That's well, hey. I hope it's. I guess it's nighttime, isn't it? Oh no, I know. I guess the Americas, it's always sunny, blue skies everywhere, isn't it? Well, welcome, hello, enjoy our chat. It's not a very visual episode, so I think this is quite a good one to not like watch. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Fleet Pass Swiftback puts in $1.99. The prefix code is 16309. Yes. Wrong ship, but yes, I get what you're saying. I was going to make that comment when we were talking about the codes earlier, but decided not to. Anyway, so they get remote access to the viewer, And Pulaski comes on the bridge,
Mhm.
and they for some reason zoom in on the operations guy. I don't know why. And then decided to look at the captain. I would have looked at the captain first personally, but whatever. Looks like they had a battle with time and lost. Dun dun dun. And then Pulaski gives her report that they've all died of natural causes, old age. So there you go.
This is a reasonable scene. I think it could have been a little bit more graphic. You know what I mean? It doesn't quite. It was more of a we're gonna build, but it would have been nice if it had been a bit more dramatic. Well, I absolutely love the massive display behind them.
Yeah.
I actually think that. Oh yeah, that's what it is. It's the battle bridge, the view screen of the battle bridge with stuff on it, and they just flip the monitors around so they get a different looking bridge.
Yep.
So it's the other view screen.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, it's an okay scene. Yeah, and it's quite interesting. They say they just died. I mean, they died of death. Oh, and then you see this next shot. This one space shot of the Enterprise and the Lantree, and it's garbage because they're being lit from they're being lit from different directions. So, well done, guys. You messed up a space scene.
I think it looks pretty fantastic.
You're wrong. Logically, you're wrong. Stylistically, you're fine. And do you think they reused footage of this Miranda from something else? Or is this a brand new, they took it in just to an aft shot? Because that's all it is. They just see one aft shot like 6 times. You know what I mean? Do they do something new for that? I don't know.
Doubt it.
Yeah, me too. Or just had it in stock.
But now we're in the conference room, and we find out that Captain Talaka was Riker's age. And 8 weeks ago, they had a physical, and they were all in perfect health.
Yeah.
We also find out from Pulaski that there was actually a single medical entry, which is odd, considering that they've been aging. You'd think somebody would have, hey, we're aging, let's take a scan. But anyway, so a single medical entry for the first officer was treated for Thalosian flu 8 days ago.
Yep. A rare but manageable flu. I love Picard's reaction, like, what is that? Because they always kind of, it's this drink, it's this disease, it's this planet. Everyone knows everything. It's kind of nice. It's like, yeah, every planet has diseases. The hell do you know them all? It's a very small touch, but I kind of like the acting there.
Yeah.
Like, is that dangerous? Nah, it's just the flu. That's why we call it the flu.
Yeah, it's not like it's a headache or something.
Oh God, Stuart! Whoa, headache.
I know, right?
Now I thought the fact that Riker, a captain of Riker's age, was really interesting. Because we associate him as the Commander Riker, and we kind of associate how old people can get to captain as a certain point. But Riker's not particularly old. And yes, there's only a Miranda class. I'm sure there's lots of low-end ships you can get captains of. But I mean, are people in their 30s captains these days? I mean, if you want to be captain, that's not that many years to get there. I mean, you could be captaining for 50 years if you want to be. I always thought of captains being, 40s or 50s, just to give them life experiences. But I mean... you know what I mean? It felt a little bit odd. But obviously he's offered captain in season 1, obviously with special circumstances, but I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Never considered it.
Let me see how old actually Riker is.
I'd say late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah. Let's see, so he was born 2335. And this episode is called Unnatural Selection. Let us do some math. I think there was one super chat that you missed.
Nope. Got them all.
Okie dokie. 2365. Take away. 2335. He's 30.
Wow.
That's way too young to be captain. I'm sorry, 30 is... I'm 30 in a couple of years.
I think when somebody says, though, he's the same age as me, it's just like within like 4 or 5 years. So he could have been like 34.
I mean, that's the retcon you gotta do. I mean, he doesn't even look 30, really, does he? Like, Frakes. He doesn't look 30. The beard does a lot to you.
The kid later doesn't look 12, so...
Oh, so you're saying Riker's beard was genetically engineered to make him look 10 years older?
Yep.
I mean, to be fair, he did look young in the last season, but I wouldn't have said 20s. Like, that means last year was 29. But I guess it makes sense because of Troy. But then being a commander at 29, now that's kind of fun because I've actively, like when I was doing conventions in uniform, like the Nemesis, I keep myself an ensign because I thought 25 is an ensign. I mean, maybe like the next rank up, but nowhere near. So I guess by 29 or by 30 I can put captain's pips on and say, well, hey, Riker's friend was captain. Like, I don't know, it just feels a bit dumb to me. But I think no one cared how old Riker was at this point. They just said it. They should have said it was Pulaski's age. That'd have been better.
No, she looks like the same age as the guy sitting in the chair, so that wouldn't have.
She doesn't.
It wouldn't have showed the age difference.
But she wasn't that old.
Oh, she looks it though. She looks ancient.
Oh yeah. Anyway, next scene.
Well, we're not done with this one yet. Last port of call was the Darwin Genetic Research Station on Gagarin 4, and that was 3 days ago. And then they decided they should warn the research station and quarantine the Lantree. So this is actually pretty cool. They do a quarantine on the USS Lantree. Mm-hmm. Some red lights come on, and you get the beacon. It says this ship has been quarantined by order of Starfleet Command. Do not board it. Blah blah blah. And then they take off to the research station.
Oh, so because I did notice that at the end of the episode that the blinkies were so incredibly bright.
Yeah.
Is that because they added extra blinkies of?
Yeah, when they hit the quarantine, they all went on bright red.
That's interesting. Jonathan Frakes was actually 37 in this episode, but his character was 30.
I think his character is the same age as him. I think where'd you get that information of your birth? Was it Memory Alpha?
I mean, Memory Alpha. I mean,
that doesn't make any sense then.
Yeah. But I mean, well, I don't know. Weird.
Anyway, they make it to the research station and they talk to Dr. Kingsley. And just as they arrive, she's like, "Hey, we've declared a medical emergency here, but we need your help."
Yeah, I like it. It's like, oh, great, cool. We need your help. It's like, oh wow, right at the right time.
And who am I speaking with? Dr. Pulaski. Oh, the linear models of viral propagation, Dr. Pulaski. And Picard's like, huh? She's like, yeah, it was a long time ago. Yeah, just to show that she's got some speciality and knowledge under her belt. So. But they ask that they beam the children up as they've been in a sterile environment and haven't shown any symptoms. And then right away, Worf's like, I recommend no contact. Thanks, Worf. A second ago, you wanted to beam over to the Lantree just blindly, but you would have been infected. Now all of a sudden, you're like, so scared. And later, when Picard decides to beam aboard the kid, Worf's face is like, "You gonna do what now?" He looks like terrified of being defeated by something he can't see.
Well, hey, at least it's better than giving. At least vaguely okay lines are better than what's her name? Tasha. I've always forgotten her name. Tasha Yar's non-lines. At least he's getting things to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun to see Pulaski get some level of recognition. That she's actually a famous author in a sense. Although it's not the area of speciality that I thought should be a bossum. But hey, cool. But I mean, this is definitely like a breakout episode that should give her something to do.
I think it might have been originally scheduled to be earlier in the season, though, like right after she came on board, maybe 2 or 3 episodes in. Not episode, what is this, 6 or 7?
Yep. But then again, she hasn't even appeared in like a couple of them to any great amount.
True, yeah.
But I absolutely agree, 100%, because we do know things that shifted around.
Maybe the model shots of the ship and stuff for what was. Yeah. It made this one get pushed back.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Like the shuttle stuff. Yeah, 100%. I like it. Even just 2 episodes would make a difference, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So back in the conference room. And they, yeah.
Oh, yes. This is where they decide to bring one of the children aboard in isolation. They'll be encased in styrolite and in suspended animation and enclosed within a force field. So they can, she can scan them and make sure that everything's fine.
Yeah.
And Picard's like, well, okay, but I want proof that they're harmless. And that's where Worf's like, kind of goes, huh? That's really good.
Yeah, this is one thing that I know it's plot. I get that it's plot, but can you explain to me that from this point, so oh, what?
I was going to just mention something I forgot completely at the beginning. I got a screenshot of it even. You don't have to show it, but it actually says special guest appearance by and Kate Mulgrew as the first credit for the
Kate
the
Mulgrew?
credits.
What?
Yeah, Pulaski.
Kate Mulgrew is not Pulaski. Kate Mulgrew is Diana Mulder.
Diana Mulder. Sorry,
Kate Mulgrew
confusing her with
Janeway.
Janeway, yeah. But anyway, special guest appearance by when she's a part of the regular cast now. I thought that was kind of weird, but whatever.
It's been that each week. I guess I didn't know if she was gonna be staying or not. I mean, she isn't in them that much, so I guess you can kind of justify. It's like Naomi Wildman. She did as much as her. You couldn't say she's regular cast, could you? But you would think if they were committed, they'd keep her. But I want to ask a question. So they got to this planet, and they talked to the people, and we know that this ship got infected. 26 people died. Right, 3 days, pretty quick, dead. Right. They said we're infected and aging, but slower is the assumption, and they sort of say it later on. We instantly talk about the children, and not once until the end do we mention actually curing the virus itself. Why do we skip straight to, let's save the children? It's like, why don't we save the adults first? They say without the adults, the children will die. Yes, but in 3 days we ran out of food and water. Like, the adults will die before that, and you can still feed them while you're dying for 3 days. I just don't, like, it feels like it's just because plot, it doesn't matter until the end, but she's a medical doctor. Why do we skip to the children? Who the hell cares about the children? Like, the scientists, the adults, people in the colony, the people that, like, didn't you think that was weird?
Nope. Again, never crossed my mind. They just want to make sure that the kids weren't infected.
But why don't you try and fix the disease first? Because if you fix the disease first, they won't kill the children. Like, yeah, they didn't mention it once. It kind of annoyed me, actually, because it's like, oh, because the plot doesn't matter. It's about the children. It's like, yeah, but at least give us a moment of realistic sci-fi drama. It just felt stupid to me, because like these people are dying, and you're not even going to bother to try and help them. Not even bothering. Like, these kids are in isolation. They're fine, and you can beam down food. They're fine. And if they're fully fine, beam them out when everyone else is dead, and there you go, you're done. It just felt really disconnected to me. A real lack of script logic.
Yeah, but then we get Chief O'Brien, which is... Well, they first they wreck the force field in sickbay, whatever.
And it's a cool weird force field.
Yeah.
Which they turn off as soon as they can because it takes VFX budget.
Yeah. But we get O'Brien saying he's reprogramming the transporter to make sure the styrolite materializes 2 microseconds ahead of the child to ensure that it's... And that's actually great that they explained all that. I thought that's a really cool idea.
I'll give O'Brien credit. O'Brien kicks ass in this episode.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he legitimately stands out as being a bit of a boss.
Yeah. It's kind of a weird beam-in effect at first day.
Well, they're doing it's a weird thing they're doing, aren't they? Plus, you never see it 2D like that. So trying to work out how the hell are we going to do this?
Yeah. So they beam in, and obviously it's supposed to be a child of 12. And as soon as Worf sees it, he's a trick. And it's like, whoa, just chill.
That I thought was a weird reaction.
Yes. He was weirdly, I don't know, his reactions in this one were quite strange.
He's basically out of character.
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, I get that he doesn't look like he's 12, but he's also still encased in your force field, inside of your sickbay, inside of your thing, and disabled. It's like, I mean, mate, don't shoot him on sight because he doesn't look 12. I mean, you don't look. Come on, do your children at 12 look like? I mean, have you ever?
Riker doesn't look 30, that's for sure.
And Picard doesn't look 110. No, yeah, and Pulaski doesn't look like she's 108 because she was in TOS. No, yeah.
Jeff Jacobs though throws in 252 and says 52 finally again at 100 hashtag Pulaski like spike hashtag make Jeff pay 99 people watching, everybody hit like, let's get at least up to 70. Sure. 70, do it.
Well, yeah, come on guys, likes are legitimately interesting, and yes, we know that he looks weirdly old, but it wouldn't be, you wouldn't assume they're tricking you horribly. You'd be like, oh, this is weird.
Why does he look so old?
Yeah, why is he so big?
He's just taking his job as security chief a little too seriously, and that's why, again, I think this one was meant to be a little bit earlier in the season because he had just been promoted at the beginning of the season.
I like that.
I don't know. It seems out of character for him. So I think this one was just supposed to be earlier.
No, I love it. That's great, actually. So we get some scans. The field goes down. I felt sad for this actor because, like, they filmed this. I'm sure they actually enclosed his body. Like, I was watching the takes and being like, this guy, they probably legit hired a guy that can hold his breath for a long time. Because some of his takes are actually quite long. Like, not so much, people can do it easily, but also to be encased and look still and be calm, and it's a thing.
And not have your breath showing. Even if they were pumping oxygen into it, you couldn't really breathe too much because you get condensation. Yeah, I was looking for all that as well.
So well done. It's seamless, and weirdly enough, this always stood out to me. This idea of being encased like this, and I'm kind of surprised they never use it again, because like if you can just stasis somebody, although did they imply that they beamed in the, what's it called again?
Styrolite.
Brilliant, great name. They beamed in first. Does that imply that because they also beamed him from the planet, that it was the facility that had the styrolite just on hand?
Yeah, I think so, because they said that he was already encased in styrolite on the planet.
Did they?
So they did.
Oh, they prepped him.
They said he's encased. Yeah, he's in styrolite. He's ready for transport.
Okay.
So yeah, maybe it's just a facility because it's a research station or something. I don't know.
Which makes sense because it feels like a super useful thing. Like if you can just beam anybody into stasis, brilliant. That's useful, but I guess it could be rare or special or whatever.
Star Trek's carbonite.
That's what I thought. I have that note. Yes. Yeah. Trek carbonite. Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah.
But Troy then senses something and says, even in stasis, the child is quite telepathic. And then Pulaski starts doing her scans and stuff. Yeah. And the one girl on the left there has the weirdest reaction to just to watch her face during that scene. It's like she broke character and then she walked away. But anyway, that's beside the point. But this is where you find out that he's actually healthier than any of us. He has an excellent immune system, and she wants to actually free him from the styrolite because she's 100% sure that he's not infected.
And he's practically perfect, so that is what perfect male nipples look like. And being totally chest hairless is also practically perfect.
Well, and it's funny here because this is where Picard says, well, what if you're wrong? She goes, well, I know I'm right.
Yep.
So
F off. No, this is fun actually. I like, because I mean she's an arrogant woman. I think she's probably earned that right, but not on this ship, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And also the best sort of people, who are the smartest people, can be arrogant without actually being arrogant. It's like, trust me, I can do this. But like like Crusher is trust me, and they're like, okay, we'll trust you. She's like, yeah, I'm right. F off. He's like, doctor.
Well, you know? I love how she keeps cutting him off.
Yeah.
He actually makes a point of saying that in a second, but he says force fields can fail, Doctor.
Yeah.
She's like, look at him, Captain. He's a human being that needs our help. Needs our help to do it with what? He's perfectly healthy and fine, just being back down to the planet, back in his isolation, but whatever. Yeah. And then Picard's like, but the risk is, and she jumps on him, minimal. and then as he's leaving,
Yep.
he's like, God knows I'm not one to discourage input, but I would appreciate it if you let me finish my sentences once in a while.
Mwah.
So they're
Mwah.
kind of at odds. Yeah.
That's a beautiful line. Like, his delivery is so respectful. No, it's
Yeah.
a wonderful.
And at the time, I thought everybody says he's so grumpy. That's not grumpy. That's actually a pretty polite way of saying that.
Yeah.
Stop interrupting me.
I mean, people, seriously, they remember Picard being grumpy. He was not. In like
No.
3 episodes in season 1, he got his groove very early. People completely misremember. Picard was a lovely guy very early.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how she actively calls Picard out later to Troy, saying he doesn't care about people, and it's like he does.
He wouldn't have got where he is if he didn't care about people.
Which was a perfect counter. But the fact that Pulaski can't see beyond this one person, it's like, you don't understand. You're not seeing this could kill everyone on the ship in 3 days. So no, Doctor, there are children on this ship. I'm not going to let you be without any evidence or proof. I'm not thinking of one person. I'm thinking of 1,000 people. Stop, Doctor. Please, you're being irresponsible. I just, like, she's wrong. I said this in the pre-chat. Pulaski is wrong every step of the way of this episode. But it's a learning curve for her. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
She's actively
blinded.
wrong.
She's blinded by her arrogance. She doesn't want to see that there's another possibility that she could be wrong.
But it's actually done in quite a good way. She's humbled by it at the end. Often she'll be like, oh my god, really? But no, she does, like, she's always wrong, but she actually does appreciate it by the end, which I liked, actually.
Picard, there needed to be a Picard told you so scene, but he's not the kind of told you so kind of guy. So
yeah.
But here's that scene with Troy where she's like, I need your advice dealing with the captain. We can't talk to each other. We just seem to start quoting regulations to each other. Yeah. And she says, I don't think he understands the human equation. And Troy's like, well, I don't think he'd be where he is if he couldn't see the human side of the equation. Yeah. And you both have well-established personalities. So
yeah, that just shows you how blinkered Pulaski is as a person. Like, I mean, also, which is weird because later on they say that she actually asked for the assignment because he's so great, and here she is saying he doesn't understand people or care about them. It's like, but again, she's blinded by her single feeling in this moment.
Yeah, and her wanting to transfer because she's had some admiration for Picard or whatever. Now that she's on board and actually meeting the man, and she's kind of realizing that, you know, he's maybe not what I thought. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of the vibe I was getting.
Because he's not sucking up to him. Like, you can love somebody, but you want them to admire you as well. And she's like, earn my respect, Doctor. She's like, damn it, he doesn't like me yet. Oh, he's not as good as I thought.
He took away my haughty, redheaded, young ex-friend's wife, possibly maybe a girlfriend in the future.
Hopefully married in Star Trek Picard, yep.
Replaced. Yeah, so I'm grumpy with you.
Yeah. And guys, no super chats in a while. Please comment, question, thoughts. 104 people watching, only 63 likes. I mean, what? Come on. I want to see at least 70 likes before we move to the next scene. 70! Come on. Christopher Rollins, I wonder if John Pertwee or Tom Baker asked to audition for Picard. No, I doubt it strongly. They only asked for... No. Yeah. They also didn't ask for people so much as... Whatever. 64, come on, 70. I want to see 70. 70. Let's do it with me. 70. 70.
70. 70. 70. Yeah, what he's saying.
I just think Troy's pretty well done in this episode. Like, what do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't have much to do, but what she does do is good.
She's the sort of character, though, that she's a functional character. Like, she has a role on the ship. So just like Data or Worf, it's like you come to them when the function calls. And when they use them in the proper function, they get time to shine. And she did. She had her own little nuance to everything she did. I think 66, come on. 66. Hello, Donnie Pearson. Although Dan 23 does not like Dan Troy's hair. What do you think?
I think it looks great, actually. Yeah.
It doesn't actually... I don't think it dates that much.
Yeah, I like curly hairs, so... yeah. does it for me. Fleet Pass Swiftback puts in
Sweet.
$4.99. Anyone ever notice when Pulaski uses a medical tricorder, she never uses a separate hand
Huh.
scanner? I always found that weird. I didn't notice that, no, but I'll have to pay attention.
I feel like I should have noticed, because I noticed last week they used a hand scanner and didn't bother using any noise. It's on stealth mode, I guess.
Anyway.
Yes.
So she walks into sick bay, sits in front of the computer, and talks to the doctor down on the research station, Dr. Kingsley. She says the risk to the ship and the crew is too great. So it's basically passing on what the captain said, and then she gets an idea, and she storms off and goes down to engineering. I'm like, what the hell is she doing in engineering? What's Geordi going to help her with? But she asked Geordi for his help. She needs a completely sealed off environment so that she can take him out of stasis without worrying about the rest of the ship. And he says, even in sickbay, we can't guarantee that. I think that's incredibly stupid. It's sickbay on a starship in space where you're going to run into a lot of things that could spread very quickly. You think the quarantine unit would be able to handle that kind of thing? I thought that was really stupid. Really stupid.
I'm on two minds. I like it in the sense that he's being very straight. Like, this killed everyone in 3 days, and no one's trying to solve it yet. So this will kill us all. Who knows, right? I cannot 100% guarantee, and if there's a 0.001 chance of it getting out, we can't take the risk. Because they don't even know what's doing it. So I mean, it could be a microbe that can corrode through metal. They didn't even scan. They didn't even go on the Lantree to scan it probably. So he doesn't know and he can't guarantee. So I give him credit for that. But you design, you design things with things. I mean, obviously this sickbay is microbe sealed. Otherwise, what's the point? I mean, would this also imply that the outer hull is equally not fully sealed? Like, if you can't guarantee anywhere is fully safe, and the outer hull material is fully safe, then why can't you build a little containment chamber made of the outer hull material? Do you know what I
mean? No.
Okay, so if nowhere in the ship can truly be sealed, right?
Yes.
Is that then saying that the outer hull of the ship doesn't actually seal it from things? So if these germs are outside the hull, they could get in. Is it not is it not actually sealed from the vacuum of space and everything outside of it?
But then everybody that was in that container that you made out of the hull material would die from lack of oxygen.
Well, you pump in oxygen. I mean, you just put oxygen in it. But I'm saying, gotcha. if the outer of the hull isn't like fully resistant to disease, like, surely you need a strong seal for space. And if it's not that strong, then I mean, it doesn't need to be that strong, but it's like, surely that's the strongest seal you have is, the space seal. But yeah, I mean, I love the shuttle idea. I love it to pieces. I think it's genius, and it's so like smart writing because it's obvious once you say it. So you don't realize it until you realize it. It's like, oh yeah.
Yeah. When he said that, I'm like, that's brilliant. Just a shuttle is perfect. Yeah.
And his face is like, yeah, I know I'm great.
That's why I got this job.
Yeah. He's a sort of brilliant without the arrogance. He's like, yeah, you're welcome. Good luck. Perfect. Seriously.
Theoretically, they technically didn't have to go out far away from the Enterprise. It's a lot more safety margin to do it that way. But the shuttle itself would be its own concealed and contained environment within the hangar bay. The hangar bay would also have force fields around it in case of main force field failure or decompression of the shuttle bay. So technically, they could have done all this in the shuttle bay. But I like the idea of them taking off. That's kind of cool.
I'm assuming that they are implying that no, outer walls aren't fully sealable either, but 2 outer walls plus vacuum of space is as close as you can possibly get.
Yeah.
If you're in the bay, then it would just be, well, is the shuttle fully sealable? Well, no, if our sick bay isn't, the shuttle isn't. Although you would think if it can survive subspace.
Exactly, it has to go through space. So.
But then so is the Enterprise, and therefore you should be able to build a thing out of them. You know what I mean? It breaks down quite quickly. Well, the Enterprise can go through warp 2. I mean, it's the same thing. But that reasoning, a escape pod should also be fine.
Mm-hmm.
And he should say there is a sealable thing on the ship, an escape pod. They're fully sealable, but therefore isn't. I mean, it's a small thing. It's just a reason to get them in the shuttle. But can I jump back 1 second?
No.
Can I jump back 5 seconds?
Considering I've waited 5 seconds, no.
Okay, I'll go back to 15. When Pulaski was back into the thing and talks to the lady,
yeah,
I thought that's a bit of a redundant scene, personally.
A little bit.
They just had this conversation, and she's talking to the lady saying, I can't do it. Obviously, the woman's going to be like, no, please, help us, please, 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 please. I keep saying, please, you'll do it eventually, please.
No, don't help us. Help the children. She doesn't give a shit about herself.
Well, yeah, they really don't. But it's like you didn't... I think Pulaski knew she was going to be talked into it. I don't know, it just felt like a redundant sort of... Yeah, whatever. Anyway, then she goes to the captains. And
Ryan K., that's exactly what I just said. They could have kept the shuttle on the ship and just depressurized the bay and put the force fields around the shuttle bay as well. Yep. But, yeah.
Obviously wasn't good enough.
Yeah. So, yeah, she goes up to see the captain. At least she got her shit sorted before she had a solution to the problem before she went and saw the captain asking for help. But she tells him about the idea. I'm prepared to take that risk. Someone needs to breathe the same air as him. And she keeps cutting him off when he's trying to talk.
Yeah.
And actually cuts him off and says, you don't have to quote the rule book to me. And then he's like, request approved. And she's like, my captain. It's such a cliche. It's such a cliche in shows. Just listen. Anyway, she didn't expect him to say yes. So, and the reason he said yes was because he says, I recognize that you're attempting to satisfy my conditions. So I'm willing to, give a little as long as you're willing to work with me. So that was cool. That was good building of their relationship, I guess.
Yeah, that was a good scene. It was a little bit oddly framed, I think. Like they're acting on different wavelengths. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's also the characters. They are like two storms that are, forcing to touch, but really it's not quite connecting. But yeah, I like the acting. It's just fine. And yeah, I mean, the shuttle idea is golden. So yeah, approval.
And so she calls. So Data comes to the shuttle bay. Can you pilot this? Of course, Doctor. I received blah, 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 blah in my flight training. And she's like, more than a passing grade, no doubt. So, so they pilot the ship out, and actually a really cool scene. I really appreciate this scene. You see the bay going by the windows, and then I think it's great launch scene.
What do you think of this scene in general? Actually seeing, now we've got Pulaski and Data back together. What do you think?
It was good.
Yeah.
She does kind of, I forget what he says, but she's like, I hate to keep reminding you, but you're a machine. You're perfectly safe. You'll be perfectly safe. It's like, you don't have to keep reminding him he's a machine. Thanks. But yeah.
Yeah. So I like this. The fact that we see the shuttle bay is so great. It's such a good looking set. And I don't think we've actually seen this shuttle, like, as the physical
ever
big prop yet.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually legit. Like, this was, you get used to it, but they have a legit shuttle now. I mean, they had the exterior before, but not the. Although this might actually be a miniature in forced perspective. No, it can't be. No, they're walking. There's a shadow behind them. But just the lighting changes of the things. Yeah, it's just a nice. Yeah, and the warp inside. Although I find it odd that the one way that Pulaski, as always, disrespects Data is that she asks him questions. He asks questions, and 3 times in a row she doesn't respond to his question, and just next thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on. I guess she does outrank him, but the respect level is like, well, you're here to do what I want. End of story. I mean, she didn't even ask if he wants to come on the mission. That fits in good, but she obviously just thinks of him as a machine to do the bidding of the need of the many. So it's a classic disrespect, but at least she's not being actively mean. She's just being like, "You're my tricorder today."
You're a tool, yeah.
Yeah. And she's being a tool, treating him like a tool.
Exactly.
Although the fact that he said he flew, I got the sense he was implying he flew in this shuttle at the academy, like this make and model. By his words, it wasn't just like, "Oh, I generically can fly shuttles." I got the sense of, yeah, we flew in shuttles like this. Or do you just think generic shuttles?
I think generic shuttles
Because
went through the piloting program.
Because they're not going to be all the same. I mean, if this shuttle's 10 years newer, I mean, yes, the buttons might be vaguely similar, but you don't know how it moves or what cables. But you know what I mean? Like, kind of, I was questioning, is it a ish brand new design, or I mean, old design? You know, I know that Andrew designed it for this season to be a TNG shuttle, but I mean, is a shuttle 15 years old? Is all I was wondering by that.
Doubt it. Yeah. So yeah, she says, "I hate to keep reminding you, but you're a machine. You'll be perfectly safe." And he's like,
"Huh." Dan23 says shuttle's been changed and then remastered. Ooh. Sorry, you can have a chat, and I will have a look.
And he responds by saying that is by no means certain, Doctor. But I was referring to you.
Yeah.
And then she says medical research is risky business, but it's all part of being human. A little stab at him.
Yeah. She's just dismissive. Again, he's a tool. Let's have a look. So that shuttle's still the same. And they reuse leaving shots, or they reuse some of the exteriors from the time the dude left the shuttle bay.
Mm-hmm.
No, the shuttle looks the same to me. Don't see anything different. No, I think the shuttle's the same.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get some more Bashir. No, some more O'Brien. He's like, they just give him stuff to do, even though his lines are all just energize, beam, ready, let's go. But he's now called O'Brien, and he's being called Sir. Like, he's raised up the ranks of side character.
Yeah. But they beam the young lad over to the shuttle. She removes the force field with this cool little gizmo thingy.
Great effect.
Yeah, not the force field, the styrolite. Sorry.
Yeah, it wakes up instantly. And one thing I'll just say here briefly, that they said he's a perfect being. I'm thankful they didn't go blonde as well. Otherwise, that'd be very like, hey, he's a perfect human.
Aryan race.
Yeah, so like just real black hair, you know.
Yeah.
And he's not even got a six pack or anything. He's just like a dude.
I love how he grabs her right away, and she's like, "Yes, I understand you perfectly. Troy's right. He's telepathic." And then she grabs her arm like instantly in the next scene.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes, Data's like scanning her. She's fine, whatever, and says that the thing's working. And she's like, "Well, that's great. The manufacturer will be happy to hear that, but your bedside manner needs work." He's like, "What?"
And I'm like,
and then, sorry,
that's rich coming from you.
I know, right? And that's when she like, she has the arthritic inflammation. So yeah, she talks to Picard, and they decide they need to return the boy to Darwin Station. Apparently, the children are carriers. And I don't know about you, but I know Picard's a better person than me, obviously. But I'd be like, oh, so he was just carrying. You know, if you would have done that on my ship, you know, you were certain that, you know, I'm just saying, I told you so, but.
Yep. Yeah, he plays it super professionally.
Oh, of course.
Because everything she did is wrong. Like, she was wrong in every step of the way. And and she now might die.
Again, she's wasting all this time trying to get them out of stasis. You were right earlier. Like, why isn't she having them scan stuff on the research station, send up the information so that she can start working on a cure for whatever it is? It's just weird because apparently the children didn't have it. So I don't know what her big rush was to get out of the styrolite. But whatever.
Yeah, if you didn't show the children as being super important by having them in the episode the entire time, then the reveal that they caused it would be like, oh, this thing we barely saw caused a thing. But
the only way her actions make sense is if they were exposed to it, the same as everybody else, but they didn't show any signs of it. So, of course, there's something in their body that would be preventing it from taking a hold of them, which means, yes, you got to get it out so we can study them or whatever.
Yes.
But it doesn't come off like that
well,
at all.
It's explicitly not, because they say that we kept them in lockdown. They haven't been. Although it's weird, because they explicitly say early on, we've kept them in, like, separate, and they haven't been aging, but they do explicitly say they met the dude with the disease, and they said we got it from them. So they didn't think it through. There's a few little logical missteps here. And again, you know what's kind of nice? I kind of like calling out TNG, because we call out Discovery's logical problems, especially the shorts currently. And it's nice when these have problems too. It's like all the Trek has problems, and we're just fair. Although it's kind of then fun how logically sound season 1 was for the most part. Like, really, you know what I mean? I was expecting to find lots of little problems. Plot wise, they're pretty solid. They're just not great, but they're solid.
Yeah.
Oh no! Did you think it was a bit weird also how diddly the mini computer screen Picard faces?
Yes.
It's like, really?
Yeah.
This whole big screen, and you need to see very teeny bits of information.
If it was Discovery era, like 100 years earlier, there would have been a huge pop-up hologram of his face or his whole torso, his whole bust.
Well, if it was Discovery, he'd be on the shuttle and sit down in the pilot's chair and like turn the chair and be like, and the chair will turn because they're stupid. It'd be like, look, Pulaski, and yet this is more powerful. Sometimes, guys. So we watched a scene with Tilly where she talks to her mum and she comments on the desk. I'm like, this would be more powerful if she was on a monitor screen to have that separation and yet have control over her thoughts. The fact that she's in the room limits the power because she's just there. Stupid. Yeah. The fact that she can turn Picard off is better because it makes you feel like, ooh, she's feeling a whole set of feelings.
Well, Picard asks her if there's anything he can do, and she's like, there's nothing you can do. I'm not going to make myself an exception to the Darwin quarantine. And so then Data asks her how she's doing, and she's like, I'm not exactly up to factory specs. And she kind of realized what she said, and she apologized. She says, I'm sorry to Data for that. Because, again, comparing him to a machine.
Yeah. Which
was kind of weird, and you wouldn't really catch it if you weren't listening for it. But so, yeah, they take the shuttle down to the planet in a second. But before that, they're in the conference room with O'Brien, and they're talking about, well, what about the transporter's biofilters?
Yes.
And he's like, obviously they're not going to help. The boy's been transported twice already, and he's still infected Pulaski. So, and they come up with the idea of using her transporter trace to control the reconstitution process. But where will we get our transporter pattern from? The Doctor has never used our transporter, and that made me think, damn, we need to go back and rewatch the last couple episodes. I don't think she did beam, but
no, she didn't.
Okay.
Well, she's not really in them enough. Like, she.
Yeah. Well, that's convenient. She didn't. That she stayed with the ship to go save the colony ship. Last episode, then, eh?
Oh, seriously? Yeah, seriously. Yeah. That would have been funny.
You were saying, why didn't she beam down? She was the chief medical officer and all this.
But I think we were all considering, like, well, yeah, the biofilters. That's the entire purpose of the biofilters. But it's like, yeah, they did it twice. It didn't work. That's it.
Yeah.
So actually, I appreciate the logical progression of the other bits of the story.
Yeah. We find out her last ship that she served on was the Repulse.
Yep.
And Picard says, well, contact them using the subspace captain's priority channel. I need to talk to him. And yeah, then we're down on the planet and you see the shuttle land.
Which actually looks really good. I mean, not the base. I think the base looks a bit naff, but the fact the shuttle lands is a really good.
The base looks very Klingon.
I know.
It looks like something from the Klingon homeworld for sure.
Just with holes they drew out.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to give credit in the last scene for a second. O'Brien's his very first like big boy meeting, and he gets some good lines. I mean,
Yeah.
I will say now, O'Brien is the one that saves the day this week. These guys don't fix the transporter. Data doesn't. Johnny doesn't. He does. It's his idea. He does it, and he saves them completely. Like, he's the savior of this episode. Well done, O'Brien. Like, clever man. I'm sorry that you get deranked later. That you're clearly a lieutenant, and then you become a chief with no rank later on. Sorry about that. Demoted.
Yeah.
But yes.
So now they're on the starbase, and we find out, there's a very normal, everyday looking microphone right there. Not that that's a big deal, but I mean, it's very, very obvious. But here we find out that the children were designed to resist disease. The oldest is 12, and they're all telekinetic, so they can move things with their mind. And wow. I love the outfits.
Yeah. If it wasn't, if they weren't aliens, sort of, in terms of they're not from Earth, presumably, they'd be like, oh yeah, but they're technically aliens, so alien humanoids. Yeah.
And she's like, genetically engineered? No, not genetically engineered. Created. Perfect in every way. I'm like, where's that line? Where is that differentiation?
Yeah, it's like that some also like as in Erickson, was it his name, something like that? He also had, fetuses which were pre-people, changed them to make them different people, and then bred them. Like they weren't people before there was, like. I found this whole sequence underwhelming. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Something about it didn't connect. I don't know. It was odd. Although I appreciate the fact I think they did one subtle bit of makeup on Pulaski, a little bit of white in the hair.
I think they just didn't put makeup on her that day. Yeah. That's how she looks every day before the makeup.
But she did look a little bit older. I was like, oh, actually, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
And again, no discussion of a cure here. Like, they don't care they're dying.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
No. Well, we find out that children's immune systems release an active antibody that would attack anything airborne virally. So, and it wouldn't wait to be attacked. It would go on the offensive. So that's kind of cool. But we find out later that that's not so cool. David Bessig puts in $5. Thank you very much. What the F? Didn't even get an alert that you were live from YouTube, nor the little live icon notice. Sorry I'm late. No problem, David.
That's okay.
Take it out on YouTube. They are very bad for that lately.
Yeah, we can't win the YouTube battle.
No.
But we're gonna still. But we've got 108 people watching, 109, which is great. Finally, some and 80 likes. Which come on. Oh, and Jill, Pulaski like spike. Follow Jill's advice. 81. Let's get to 85. Let's get to 85.
Hey, I said she's pretty good in this episode, so relax.
No, I'm agreeing.
Stop jumping on me. Fleet Pass Swiftback puts in $4.99. Hit 78 likes. I'm paying for 75. Jeff is paying for 100. Keep hitting that like button. Hashtag Pulaski like spike. Yes. All right. So now he's talking to the captain of the Repulse.
Yes.
And we erased her transporter pattern after she got transferred, because why would we need it? Yeah. She preferred to use the shuttlecraft anyway. I would have given her a shuttlecraft if she would have kept her here. And he's like, well, tell me, Taggart. So it's Captain Taggart. Why did she leave? Well, as soon as she found out there was a spot on the Enterprise, she put in her transfer request. She knew your service record backwards to forwards. Apparently, she's been an admirer of yours for quite some time. And Picard's like, fascinating.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's an interesting scene, and it makes Picard a lot more humble.
Yeah.
Although, to be honest, I would assume that most people who request the flagship kind of like Picard's resume. You know what I mean? You don't just randomly ask to be on the Enterprise. So, it's like, oh, I'm not randomly wanting part of a celebrity's house party. It's like you're either there to go to the house in Beverly Hill or to meet the celebrity. You know what I mean? So it's not really as flattering as I think it's meant to be. I guess it just shows that she's a bit mean in general, but she actually came here out of a deep level of respect. She doesn't show it because she's so professional at being her.
Yeah.
And to note, another character with facial hair, because I got bitched at in Temporal Anomaly and Convergence from people with facial hair, and obviously you say, oh, Riker facial hair, but no one else does. It's like, here's another actor from Trek with facial hair and a captain, so...
Well, yeah.
It's not the norm, but it does happen occasionally. And Stuart's one of them.
That's just dumb. That people would complain about that. I have facial hair. I'm a captain. I mean...
Yeah, that is absolutely true.
Anyway, so we find out that, well, they run some tests, and Pulaski actually stood up for Data. She's like, well, he's quite phenomenal.
Yeah.
It won't take days. With him, it'll be pretty quick. So that was nice. But here we find out that the Lantree was not the source of the disease, but it was the trigger. Because essentially the flu that the first officer had activated this immune system of the children, and it started manipulating DNA.
Yeah.
So, and since the DNA is self-replicating, the process is irreversible, we find out. The children will survive, but the rest of us are just about out of time, and the children are going to have to live out the rest of their life in isolation, which, considering they're perfect, healthy specimens, will be a long lifespan.
It's like they just spelled out 10 seconds ago. Like, and then Data's re-spelling out for the audience. It felt dumb. You know? It's like the breakthrough, which you've already known as the audience. We get it, and they get it, and tell them, I wish they'd say, yes, we know Data. Anything else they can tell me? Oh, nothing. Oh. Like, the only thing you learn in the scene is that it's unfixable. But I certainly love that the quick solve to the problem, it'll take months without Data. Yeah, but Data's here! So it'll take 45 minutes!
Yeah.
But it's logical. It's logical. There's no actual stretch there. Although, he should really be working in genetic research, because he could do, like, everyone's job and pioneer research if it's that easy.
He should be, because he can't get infected with anything, He can get right in there, like the holographic doctor,
Yeah, actually. Yeah, I wonder, could the EMH go through information as quickly as he can?
You'd think so.
I assume so,
yeah. The quarantine of Darwin Station must be forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
You did the best you could as androids go. You're in a class by yourself.
Yeah.
Because Data's beaming back up. We've kind of consigned to the fact that Pulaski's going to die. And this scene where she's face on the view screen, she was reading her lines because her eyes were doing it was really bad.
I just thought
I was like, you're a professional actress. Why are you reading your lines? Anyway.
Yeah, or maybe the makeup took like half an hour too long and they didn't have time to do the scene properly, so it's like, right, just give her lines, she can read them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, the middle makeup, this makeup, now I'm looking at close up, is a bit crap. They just put dark on half her face and threw, like, flour in her hair, even though you can see all the dark roots, even though it would grow white in the inside first. Yeah. Whereas the second makeup is really good. The old makeup, that's actually excellent. I'm assuming
David Bessick sent us. He puts in $2 and says sent you an angry PayPal. Oh,
angry PayPal.
I'm checking.
Oh dear.
You've got money. He sent $50 US. Thank you very much, David.
Oh.
Because tonight I really hate YouTube and I really like Trek Yards. I'm over Track Yards, by the way. Well, thank you, David. And sorry about YouTube. I mean, you should probably yell at them. Go write them an angry email. Because
Yeah. Sorry, but
thank you.
Well, yeah, massive thank you. That will help a lot with some things. And I mean, go back and watch the first bit. It's good. And actually, I want to. Devereaux77X, who's obviously a super regular, says, I still say Darwin Station probably had special dispensation to the anti-genetic laws. What do you think?
I mean, it's a possibility.
I don't think I'll buy that for a second. Like, they cause a third world war, then Sung cause another big problem, and other species have had problems too.
Maybe that nothing around it. It's maybe the planet's in the middle of nowhere, so that if anything goes bad, I don't know. Maybe there is some kind of.
I know, but fool me once, fool me twice.
Genetic manipulation. I know. Genetic manipulation. Well, they made a point of saying that. Genetic manipulation. No, they were created. It's like,
oh, so you think they literally just loopholed their way into this stuff? So it is still banned,
possible.
But they loopholed the shit out of it.
Yeah,
hey,
possibly,
they weren't life forms when we started. We made them into humans. We took a sperm and an egg and created it from scratch. Therefore, we didn't engineer. We created. It's like, yeah,
gods now.
That will fly in the Federation Supreme Court. You crazy people! They always killed the Enterprise crew. Like, they were wrong. They screwed up again. Another instant which engineering is wrong. Except for it fixes subtle things that other shows have.
Right. Fleet Positive 5 puts in 499. Was genetic engineering retconned in DS9, or did Darwin Station have special permission to make kids? We don't know. There's probably some kind of loophole, or maybe they're not. Maybe they're a Federation member world or not.
Well,
who knows?
It's just a facility. It's not a member world. It's just a building on the planet. Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's like the Prime Directive. They've broken it so many times in season 1 and 2 that they just haven't established what it means yet. It's like Dan23 says, this kind of genetic engineering is different to the one in the Genetics War. Yeah, but that's a slippery slope. If they, I feel the Starfleet Council would not be, oh, well, technically you're right. They'll be like, no, you're doing genetic engineering on people. Just because you made them, it's genetic engineering. It's the same thing, especially as, I mean, did you not get parallels, literally parallels, which is like, they're perfect, they're stronger, they think better. It's like, you're just saying Khan again.
But they're better because they have telekinetic abilities. Can you imagine if Khan could throw you across the room, from across the room?
And see in your brain. Yeah, I mean,
so
stupid people.
They're actually more dangerous.
Way more dangerous.
But they weren't, I don't think they were Supermen as far as Khan was, as far as elevated strength. Maybe a little bit more strength because they're like perfect specimens, but not enhanced strength.
Oh, so you think...
Which breeds enhanced ambition, which breeds the problem. This is more like messing with telepathy and things like that.
I mean, I would argue, as you just stipulated, that if you can control your ability to throw people across the wall, that's better than being strong in and of itself.
Yeah, I would agree.
You guess what? You can't crush someone, but you know what? Use the power of the Force, crush somebody. I mean, if you can control it fully, I mean...
They're making Jedis. That's what they're doing.
Yes. Excellent. No, I like the idea, though, that, yeah, it's maximizing the human potential. So, you know, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? He's an excessively strong man, especially in his prime. But the human body could do that. It could reach that level. So if you build a, 6'2", which means he has full use of, massive leg muscles, big air ability in his lung, like big lungs, big air. You give him, very, very strong testosterone for muscle control. You give him like the equivalent of a top tier athlete. And then you go to a strong immune system. Like, he's just as good as you can be. He's not Superman, although he can still beat up most people. But then I bet, like, it'd be kind of fun if Worf had lines saying, but there are no Klingons.
Yeah.
It's like, I could beat him up.
But see, Arnold Schwarzenegger's not a perfect specimen either. He doesn't have good endurance. It depends. He's got strength. He's got muscle mass, but that doesn't necessarily, it's not the perfect example of...
Well, I didn't say he was a perfect specimen. I just said that the
body should be.
No, I agree. That's why I didn't say perfect specimen. Just that he could physically still do massive strength, showing that a body can push to that point. You know?
Yes.
But yeah, not perfect. And obviously, you don't want to be... If you look at him in his prime, that muscles he had is not healthy. It's not, it's not a class... that's
It's
not
also
how...
not sustainable.
Yeah. That body is not how it should be. You're pushing it beyond the limits. Whatever. Although, not beyond the limits, but like pushing to new limits. Anyway. So yeah, Pulaski's now old with pretty good makeup, and she's now old too. Did a good job.
And they're beaming up Data. They say their goodbyes, and she looks really, really old.
And then Picard has an
Picard's
idea. Ooh.
Picard's like, the hell with this. I'm not losing my stalker fan. Maybe she has a thing for me. I've never tried an older woman. I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna see what happens. So he rushes down. Before they beam up Data, though, they make sure no life forms are present, which I guess would mean microbes or anything, but still, I thought it was a little sketchy. Every time they say they can beam up somebody that's not affected, it's a virus. Like, wouldn't it be on their clothing or whatever? The biofilters obviously didn't scan it out before, so it seems weird to just bring Data up directly from the infected spot. But whatever. What do I know, right? But he materializes. Picard runs in and starts. I have an idea. Oh, it's good to see you again. Thank you, sir. Acknowledging that he's a person.
Yeah, that line I loved. That was a smart scriptwriter that was like, "Ooh, we'll give 5 more seconds of screen time, and it'll add so much to the character."
Yeah.
But you are right. I mean, if it couldn't get from inside a person, well, I guess you could just say kill everything that isn't Data. Like, kill every microbe. But that... Because if it's inside somebody, you can't
that's why I think the line "no life forms detected" was put in there to say that there's nothing organic. There's nothing that could.
Basically,
and if it's airborne, like he breathes like a human. He has he can eat food like a human, so there'd be that inside him. But with the transporter beam, who knows? I think that's weird.
Yeah. But maybe... Well, I'm guessing his uniform's going to smell really fresh now. Like, it's a very strong, dry clean.
Yeah, they launder them every time they transport.
Yeah.
Well, all the
biomass, yeah. Or at least with Data, anyway. So now you've gone widescreen again, Stuart.
I don't know how.
You should really work out how you do. I'm sure it's like a key you press.
Yes. I made sure I didn't hit I thought it was Shift D, which is the interlace. But I did not hit that at all. But I mean, beside the Shift S.
But hey, I'm not going to complain. You did like 400 images, so it's fine. Want to get to 330, you make one mess up. That's fine. You did a lot of non-mess ups. This, I think, is really easy. This point onwards, it's just like, yeah, it's logical, but if it was this easy, someone would suggest it, like, first. You know? Like, if it's that, you know what I mean? If just generic DNA is enough, then wouldn't you have that on file first? Like, I'm sure her DNA is in the computer. She's chief medical officer. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, like he asked Data, would this help? Is this the thing we could do? DNA from a blood test. Yeah. And this is where her records were shipped by way of Starfleet headquarters. They have not caught up with us yet. That's a long time, considering she's probably been there 2 months or so, we would guess. But still, they are out and exploring and doing things, so. But all they need is a single cell. Let's check her quarters. And then they get all creepy on her and start going through her underwear drawer. And
Robert Hayes points out that the medical files are coming on Tuesday.
On Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm sure that this scene of them rummaging was the extended version where they throw out panties, bra. There's lots of rude things.
And Riker's like...
I mean, he's only 30 after all, so... Although
Oh, that was really bad. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize.
jump back 1 second though. I love this technobabble with O'Brien in the transport room. Like they're like, right, we're gonna challenge this guy to say a lot of random stuff, and he does it flawlessly. Like you can see why some people are good at it and some people aren't. Sorry, just a little credit to where it's due. That technobabble was a good bit of track.
Yeah. Yeah. But then they find a follicle, or a hair follicle on the brush, a live cell. So there you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, the modification is only one way. If this doesn't work, we won't be able to send her back to the planet. So it's basically a death sentence if it doesn't work. And then Picard's like, well, I'll operate the controls myself if she's consigned to oblivion. And she's like, thank you, sir. Or O'Brien's like, thank you, sir. I don't know. As a captain, I'd probably want... I would kind of want the responsibility myself, but at the same time, I'd rather have the guy that actually knows the transporter inside and out to be at the controls. Just saying.
Well, to be fair, he is also at the other controls, to which he also does the tech stuff later on. So I think Picard's literally just pressing the button. And Brian's doing the technical stuff.
Okay, I buy that. Yeah. Okay.
And what did you think of the final log of Pulaski? Or was that the scene earlier? Because we're back on a view screen again. I can't remember if it's now or before. Was that the bit was that just the bit she was reading at camera? The Pulaski log? Last log?
I think so, yeah. Which means, I mean, if that's the case, she could have written her log on the planet and was actually literally reading it, so it would be no problem. But
it's just a stilted scene in general.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's that scene or this scene, but I don't remember. I didn't make any notes for the final log, just that, so it couldn't have been that important.
Yeah. And then, energize. And, yeah.
Yeah. And then she's like, thank you, sir. Oh, my God. And if this hadn't worked, we would have had to disperse your atoms into space.
Yeah. It's a good line.
Oh, I think that it's going to happen every time I get into the damn thing, so.
Humbug, yeah. And what do you think of this whole scene?
Well, which scene exactly? Where she...
Well, I mean, both. I mean, the transporter beam out, the climactic scene, and then the next scene. What do you think?
I thought it was well done. I really do. I thought it was a little premature again because wouldn't they all be infected now?
Why?
Yeah, because, I don't know, they didn't kill all life forms in the transporter beam like they did with Data. So...
Yeah, but
they beamed her up. And I guess it was her DNA that was mutating, but still, I don't know.
The thing is, they didn't just beam her up. They beamed up her into pattern buffer and
into the old her,
and re-energized her based on her pattern. So she literally isn't the same woman that she was. This one is definitely she got reset in her cells, so she's not the same person. The other person did die.
Yeah, so she got reset to like the morning where she brushed her hair.
Yeah.
Or 2 days ago because the hair could have been 2 days old. But
I'll give them credit though. The transition is actually very nicely done. Actually, there's actually a nice little fade element. And I like, again, Carl Meany as O'Brien. He does something to stabilize it. Sounds like a boss. Does it like a boss. Good job. Now this bit I thought was a bit weird. Pulaski comes down and he hugs her. And it's like, this is not earned at all. You don't like each other. He wouldn't be this caring. Crew maybe die all the time. This felt so out of character and so like forced. Like Beverly, yes. Pulaski, no. This felt stupid to me.
Kinda.
Yeah. And then why does he takes her by the arm and pulls her out of the room just to walk down a corridor? Like, she's just been saved. She's no longer in pain of death. Where are you going? Why are you suddenly running somewhere? What are you doing? The whole scene felt stupid. I guess it didn't just. I guess it just didn't.
He's taken her to sign the waiver. that if anything happens because of this modifications transporter, that it's not our fault if you die. So sign this for us, please. He's got to get her to sign that right away because they don't know what would happen.
Yeah. I just thought that was. I guess it was because if they stay in the room, they'd have to have all the actors stand there while the dialogue's happening. Said, let's just do a walk and talk because he's in this other scene, but it felt like a silly, just pace, feel, vibe.
Then we see the ship leave orbit, and again, it's got a weird texture to it, same as last episode.
It's the same shot,
scene, actually.
Just greenified. Better greenified.
Yep.
Greenified.
And his ship just looks odd. And then they go back to the Lantree, and they basically scuttle the ship. One torpedo, boom.
Big ass explosion.
Yep.
It's such a fan film explosion. Like, I'm going to hit you next to the shuttle bay, and that'll destroy the entire ship instantly. Sorry, what? What destroyed it? Why? What? What blew up? Like, you understand the torpedoes don't do that much damage to individual parts. Like, if you targeted the warp core, fine. But now, like, you've done a great shot where you see where it's hit. Like, that wouldn't kill the ship. It would break the hull a bit. But that's not that. That's fine.
Yeah, well.
It's quick, so I don't know what to think about it.
There's a guy standing behind Worf, like an older guy. Like, he must have known somebody on the production team. He was at the helm station earlier.
It was.
Yeah, it's like, why are you here? You look unfit for Starfleet. He was on set for the day. He was a friend of Gene Roddenberry's or something. Like, I want to be in your show. All right, sit down.
Yep. AC Costello does say, I like the scene where everyone stands up and recognizes and gives respect. I do too in concept, but this scene is stupid beyond belief. Because this ship is fine. Why are you blowing it up? You're wasting an entire perfectly serviceable vessel.
Because it smells like old people and mothballs.
Exactly. So there's no reason to destroy it. I mean, these things take years to build. Like, if this ship could be 95 years old, could have, done really cool things, been less important now, but it's still an NCC, still a USS. What a waste of everyone's time and money. I mean, all the engineers that built it would be like, wait, so you destroyed it because...
Theoretically, they could bring everybody on that ship back to life. Just beam them back over with their transporter traces.
They could bring the bodies back to this okay state, but they wouldn't bring them back to life. Their brains are dead. But I like that idea, but I think life has left their body.
I'm just being an ass.
No, that's a good thing. But seriously, I mean, just beam everyone out into space or into the pattern buffer. You vent the ship. You do a massive decontamination because, I mean, I'm sure there are what the virus is. You can make a ship lack of anything. You can make the ship usable again. Throw
it back to a starbase and do the baryon sweep thing.
Yeah.
AC Costello just said that. I was just thinking that. I couldn't remember what it was called, but
yeah,
everybody had to be off the ship because it
kills everything.
But they're at peace. The Federation's at peace. They don't need the extra ships.
Oh.
I bet you after the Dominion War, Picard's like, God damn it.
Yep.
Could have had one more ship.
I just thought it was just a really stupid end that made me think, what's wrong with this show? Like, they even said the ship's perfectly fine. It's like, imagine, right? You're an aircraft carrier, right? And the pilot comes in for land. They dies of a heart attack in between the landing and getting tethered to a bay. Oh no, the pilot's dead. Right, rocket launcher. Yeah, I mean, the flight pilot was no good. He died in it. We can't save it.
Died from a flu, and we don't want to wipe down all the controls.
It's just pathetic. It was a lovely scene, but it was a stupid beyond belief. And honestly, this would lower a mark for me because the writers are smart on this.
Yeah. Jarzia throws in $5 Canadian. Should have towed it to the Remler array to get it sterilized. Who am I kidding? Those explodium alloy hulls are just too fun to watch exploding.
Yeah,
it's true. And this is where my note is.
Ooh.
It says set course and speed for Star Station India.
What's the Star Station?
That's where my note was for it. So it's at the end. I didn't know they mentioned it at the beginning. So
yeah, it's where they're off to at the start as well. And they're like, okay, I guess set course for there again. Cool. Well, I'll give them one credit in the blowy uppy scene. It does create orange light on the hull.
Mm-hmm.
So yay for them for that. But yeah. Yeah. And they warp away and everything's fine. Well, no. No, actually, no, actually it is, because they did say they saved all of the colonists, all the scientists. It was literally offhand comment. Oh yes, we saved them all. Right, now back to the Lantree. It's like, oh.
Yep.
Wow, okay. Yeah, my last two notes. Easy end, and what the fuck didn't they salvage Lantree? What the fuck? Yeah. Oh, and another little note. This was a while ago because there wasn't that many notes, but when Data's on the planet and they talk about what the disease is, and he says, well, we can't recode DNA, it's impossible. I just thought, oh, the EMH can do it in about 6 years. He's smart enough to do it. Because he managed to undo them from being bloody, 1 million AD reptiles. So he can undo DNA. Like, it's doable by EMH, so he's definitely a better doctor than Pulaski. When we get there, anyway. Just a small thing. They do rewrite DNA.
It's true.
Why are you laughing at me? Why are you
not-
laughing at me?
I'm not as bad as I remember overall. It's great scenes. The using the shuttlecraft as a sterile environment is cool. The styrolite is kind of neat. I like that. And Pulaski's not bad in this episode, honestly. She's a little bit kind of harsh with Data in a few spots, but again, it's because she treats him as a tool essentially. So,
A couple of quick comments for you, with Ryan cases maybe they softly ordered the ship to be scuttered. No. Dan 23. Why would you want to work on a ship where the entire previous crew died? Sure. I mean, it's a spaceship. And maybe it's a respect thing. That's why they destroyed it. I'm sure if you asked the crew before they died, should we blow up your ship or use it for science and medical and survey and supplies? They'd say no. Still use the ship. We helped people. So no, not a respect thing either. Continue.
all right. So yeah, not as bad as I remember. Not as dreadful as I remember, to be honest. And actually, a rather good story piece for Pulaski. So it was a little boring in spots and a little bit nonsensical in others, but overall pretty enjoyable. That being said, I wouldn't deliberately seek it out to watch it again. If it was on, I might watch it.
Yeah.
And if it's part of a rewatching of the series, absolutely have to. But
yeah.
I would never just go, hey, that's a good episode. Kind of my overall thought. Not as bad as I thought I was getting into with it.
Yes, which I think did help that we thought was going to be bad.
Yeah.
That probably helped as well.
Yeah. So, is my turn to rank it?
One quick question before you do. How is Pulaski doing overall so far? 7 in of 22 or 24.
Good. Better than I anticipated for sure.
Okay. Yeah, maybe Jill's right. Maybe we'll like it by the end of the season.
We'll see.
So yeah, now
I think my stubbornness won't allow that though.
So guys, while Stuart gives his score out of 10 for season 2 for all the TNG and compared to season 1, we'll do it probably until like halfway the season. You guys put in the comments what you think, either via super chat, which would be super helpful, like no $20, so 4 5s, yay, or just normal chat. We'll read them out. What do you think? And if you want to give a reason why you like or don't like it, please do, because that's a fun conversation to have. So Stuart, your scores, your 3 scores.
All right, for season 2, I'm gonna have to give this honestly a 5 out of 10. It's very middle of the road. Introduced us to some new great concepts, but not thoroughly exciting episode. For all of TNG, it's gonna have to be down there around 3.5.
Okay.
Not the worst by any means, and not too bad.
Lower third of episodes.
Yeah.
Okay, and then if this was in season 1, how would it compare if it was in season 1?
Maybe a 6.
Okay. Yeah, sounds fair. So for me, that's a tricky one actually because it's okay. But there's a few things that do bring it down, and when a thing is so okay over the board, the things that are bad, it's like, well, that's just bad. So I feel like I'm gonna give it a 4 for season 2, so below average. But I mean, okay, it's not bad. I might lower it might lower that after the fact, depending on what else is in the season, because not everything can, like, this is probably one of the worst ones of this season, probably still. So at that point, I might retcon it later on to be a 3. So I'll caveat that 3 or 4 depending on how the rest of the season is. All TNG, I'm gonna say a 2. But I do agree, Pulaski is actually the best bit of this episode because you get a genuine like study of her character. But you don't really get anything for anyone else.
Yeah, this would have worked better as a TOS episode, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
With McCoy kind of being the hard-headed, I want to.
Yeah.
Because they tried to make her the female McCoy, and this would have been a great TOS episode.
No, seriously, and it would have been actually kind of a fun like sequel to Deadly Years, like this again. Oh.
And Spock would be Data, of course. He's Vulcan, so he's immune to it.
Yep.
So he can go down. No problem.
And then, Kirk comes around to transform him. Spock! Hey, Spock! Welcome back, Spock! How's the mission going? A nice little moment. And for TNG Season 1, I'm going to go a 5. I think it's average for Season 1, if it was in Season 1. So yeah, guys, what are your scores?
Well, Swiftback puts a $1.99.
Thank you.
7 out of 10 for Season 2. 6 out of 10 for all. Solid episode.
Jesus, you love it. Wow.
Jarzia throws in $2. Again, I agree with Foley's ratings. Next episode is good.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, next one, I actually love the next episode. I'm really excited for it. I personally love the next one because it's like...
Matter of honor.
It's an in-depth study into clone culture. You get lots of Bird of Prey, you get new sets, you get great guest stars. The plot's a bit dumb when you break it down, but I love it. From my memory anyway, so I'm excited for that one. So, some non-super chat reviews, but again, please do help us out. 89 people watching, 91 likes. So if you haven't clicked like, please do click like, because we want to hit the 100 likes each episode, so click like. And $10 more in super chats would be super, obviously. So Dan23 says 5 out of 10. Team MRHS says 5 out of 10 for Season 2. And 3 for all TNG. Cargat Studios, it's 5 all TNG. And 7 for Season 2. Ooh.
Yeah, and Cargat Studios also says clothing definitely got a 2 out of 10.
Yeah. Raj, 6 out of 10. The story about aging, and that's it. Yeah. 2 out of 10. 5 out of 10 Kellicams, yes. 4 out of 10. Brian Lone, 8 out of 10. 7 out of 10 for Season 2. 5 out of 10 for all TNG. Yeah. Yeah.
How would you rate this Trek Yards live? Out of 10. Asking everybody out there. I was late, and I didn't say too much when you were sharing things around, and you know. David Bessick puts in $2 and says, "Yeah." Okay, I don't know what that's for, but thank you, David.
Yeah. No, I like ones where you have a preconceived notion and you watch it and be like, yeah, okay. Yeah.
We're always a 10, 11 out of 10 for Trek Yards Live.
Yes.
6.5 out of 10 from Jeff Jacobs for Trek Yards. Oh, Jeff. That might be for the actual episode, though, because 6 out of 10 is pretty average. It's not like the child, not as bad like the child, but it's not a classic. Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
Trek yards equals minus 42 out of 10. Oh, that's really bad. Wow.
Well, we try.
Trek yards always gets a 10 out of 10 for heroic blood pies.
Oh, and a Alex Costello sells $2.53 on Canadian PayPal, as in PayPal. I'm trying to make it a point to at least a couple of bucks per Trek stream I catch. Unfortunately, I can't make them all. Oh. Well, thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
Literally every dollar mounts up, because if you get like $2 a couple of times a month and it builds, I mean, yeah. Oh my god, Jill put a thing? What?
Thanks.
What?
Jill 47. That's the new YouTube stickers.
Whoa.
Yeah. But she puts in $1.99 and says thanks. So thank you, Jill.
Cool.
Martin Devon puts in 1701 out of 10. You guys are all awesome. All awesome.
I will give it a 1,837 out of 10.
Why?
Guess why? It's not much of a leap.
Why just brush to clean?
Can you guess why?
Do more.
Well, if that's what I'm thinking, you got the number wrong, but
How would
it's
you
86. Because it's the Reliance registry number.
know? No, it's the Lantree's registry number.
Oh, okay. Well, the Reliance, 18.
And apparently the reason the
Anyway.
Lantree didn't have a roll bar is because the lights wouldn't work that day. So like, shit. You won't use them then. And it made
Really?
a unique
Wow.
variant. And allowed Eagle Moss to sell another ship. Literally. It made them tens of thousands of pounds by them not having a roll bar that worked. Funny.
Green out of 10 for Trek yards. Oh, thanks, AC Costello.
Thank you. We've got 4 minutes. So who wants to be the final super chat? As I often sometimes do. When are our next live, Stuart? Are you going to do one at some point before next week's reviews?
Yeah, I'll probably do one or two on the weekend, actually. Not quite sure exactly when, so keep an eye out. But yeah, I'm thinking I'll do one. At least one on the weekend.
Any topics that you might do?
Yeah, I'll probably actually do one on looking at the photos from the trip.
Nice.
Kind of talking about those and any memories I have of the person that's in the photo or whatever. Meeting you guys. Other than that, I'm not sure yet on a topic. I will come up with something though. So we'll see. Keep an eye out.
Sounds good. The last super chat. Wonderful people out there. We hope you guys have enjoyed this show. And next one is going to be fun. We don't know which days will be around next week, but I'll probably do 2, if not 3. Well, I'm away on Thursday, so if we do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but probably just do 2 then.
We'll see.
Oh no, we're doing Friday. I'm coming back for Friday. That's what I remember. I'm going away on Thursday, back on Friday because that's when the short trek's out. So we are doing one on Friday for short trek. We're gonna do our filming in the morning and then release it and then do our live. So please join next Fridays from 10 p.m. GMT looking at our review of the short trek, the Pike short trek. We had the number 1 short trek and the Archer short trek, and now we're gonna have the Pike short trek for the Picard short trek. And the other short trek, which we have no idea what it's about.
Isn't there supposed to be an animated one?
Yeah. I think there's 6, isn't there? So I think there's one random one, we don't know what it is. Yeah, there's definitely a animated one too. Yeah. Oh yeah, when's the Mandalorian come out? I think that's actually then as well.
12th. Tuesday.
Oh gosh, okay. Okay. Yep. Okay. I guess I might do that on Wednesday?
Well, I gotta make sure I have Disney Plus to see it, but yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's actually good.
I think it will be.
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to get another super chat by the looks of it, and I should get going.
That's
'cause we gotta
so-
decide what we're doing for supper yet.
Ooh, what might you have to think?
I have no idea.
I made
But I mean, I have to decide what we're gonna have. I gotta go check and see what's in the freezer.
chicken and vegetables, but like a healthy chicken and vegetables. All right, guys, have a lovely everything, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Fleetpaw Swiftback puts in $1.99, says F it. Here you are. Thank you, Fleetpaw. See you guys next. Well, I'll see you on the weekend. I will see you on the weekend. Plus, I might be doing a bridge breach tonight, so check it out.
He'll pew the world, the universe.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye, guys.